Hi, I'm Phil Monkhouse, a realtor in Houston. Today I'm going to go over some of the things I wish I knew before I moved to Texas. Um, there's a few surprises. Overall, it's an overwhelmingly positive experience, but there's a few surprises, and just because Texas seems to have a larger than life place in people's minds, some of the fears might be overblown too. So I just wanted to touch on some of the things people are worried about when they move to Texas and just comment if they're overblown, if they're accurate or not. So anyway, yeah, today I'm wearing a Western shirt. There's 3 days left in the rodeo, huge event every year. If you're moving here, you're probably aware of it. You should go at least once a year. Show the lineup this year. This is kind of considered a weak year, surprisingly. But as you can see, there's lots of big names, especially if you like country, so you can find someone for sure. So this is held at the Energy Stadium complex where the Texans play, and right beside it is the Astrodome. So there's a huge carnival outside, and then separate from that is there's some rodeo events that goes along with the concert before the concert starts. So yeah, you get to watch some rodeo and then see a great concert. So yeah, great for kids, great for adults. Yeah, lots to see and do. So yeah, let me jump into some of the kind of negatives that people might think of when they think of Texas or Houston in particular. All right, snakes down here. The three poisonous ones that I hear about in our area. This is a copperhead. I've never heard of anyone, I'm sure it happens, but I've never heard of anyone actually getting bit by one. Usually if you see one of these in your area, in your yard or whatever, like in our area, for example, just go in a neighborhood Facebook group and a snake lover will gladly come out and remove it for you rather than have you kill it, but people kill them as well. So that is a copperhead. Hope I didn't get these backwards, but yeah, it's got to be, I think I'm right on that one. That's a copperhead. Another poisonous one. These ones, I think, if I'm not mistaken with the last one, cottonmouth, the babies can be very aggressive. But anyway, copperhead, and then this is a coral snake. This is actually the most poisonous snake in the area. I think maybe even in the world. But the thing is, there's something they can't actually bite you. They can't open their jaws wide enough to bite you. So no one ever really gets bit by these. But there's a saying, let me see if I can say it right. Red on yellow, kill a fellow. So there is another snake that's not quite like this. The colors are reversed, but red on yellow, kill a fellow. I've seen these around, and I've seen two of them since I've been here, and yeah, no real. Anyway, I never really heard of anyone get bit. I don't think it really happens. And then the last one, cottonmouth. And copperheads seem to be more common than cottonmouth as far as I know. Those are the three I'm aware of. I don't know anyone's ever got bit. It might have happened. I'm sure it's happened, but I've never heard of it. So that covers snakes. So guns in Texas, obviously huge gun culture here. But if this really makes you uncomfortable, this open carry type of thing. I've never seen anyone do this. I'm sure at some rallies and stuff that happens, but I've never seen this kind of thing walking around. So if you're kind of anti-gun, that's not going to be part of your everyday life. This type of thing, I've seen it maybe 3 times since I've been here. You don't see a lot of this. Pretty much every store will have a sign saying you're not allowed to come in with one. It's a felony if you do walk in like that. I think that's the law. That's how it works. So you don't see this in everyday life. So that's not really a concern. Next, I'll go over fire ants. This is one I didn't really know before I got here. I definitely didn't know about this one before I came here, but ants are everywhere. I don't know, I just call them fire ants. I don't know. I think there are different types, but you'll definitely see something like this in your yard. Eventually, they pop up. There's poisons you can put on them that kill them off really quick, but sometimes you don't see them. When you get bit by these things and you're just not paying attention, you don't necessarily have to step on a mound, but just if you're just working in an area and there's ants around, when they bite, it's for me anyway, it stays itchy for 2 weeks. I hate when I get bit by those things because it just sticks around, just itchy at night. You just keep scratching it. So yeah, try to avoid not getting bit and kill those things off. Yeah, they're horrible. There's another mound you'll see around, like taller, bigger ones, but in your yard, this is kind of the one you see more often. Yeah, I was going to say too, if talking about your yard, let me show you some pictures of what a landscaper can do for you here. So yeah, when you move here, I would say throw away your yard equipment or sell it before you come. This is a house I used to live in, and to get all this done was $35. You could get it every 2 weeks was fine, except for like a few months when it was hot and wet. You would probably want to do it every week, otherwise it start looking kind of rough. But yeah, trees trimmed when needed, bushes trimmed when needed, these trees trimmed, this tree trimmed, all these bushes trimmed, everything edged professionally. Like I tried to do it myself and it just doesn't look nearly as good as when they do it. And including like blowing and collecting all the scraps. Let me show you another picture here of just what all the work they were doing. So yeah, these trees look like they're due for trimming at this point, but trees trimmed, grass cut, everything gone. You can see like trimmed professionally, and all the clippings are gone too. So yeah, $35. This, you can't really see the picture. This backyard is huge. Well worth it. And especially in the heat. We all know that Houston's hot, especially in the summer, hot and humid. Stay away from those fire ants too. Definitely get a landscaper to handle that for you. And yeah, I mentioned the rain briefly. It's when it rains here, if you're not used to it, it rains. It's so hard. The drops are huge and it rains so hard. So that's kind of a interesting thing to see if you haven't seen before. Pretty intense thunder and lightning storms because it's so humid as well. Yeah, that's about it for that. Let me show you a little bit about driving around Houston. It has a reputation as a massive city geographically. Oh yeah, Houston, massive city geographically. I wish I pulled up one of the maps that you can inlay, I don't know, like Paris or something like that. And it like fits in this area or something like that. But anyway, this is where I am, Sienna, part of Missouri City, Texas, in between Sugarland and Pearland. Here's Katy up here. Galveston's down in this area. The Woodlands way up here. I don't really do much in the east side of the city, but usually all the big master plan communities are kind of in, let's just say from here, this area. Something like that, kind of wrap around there. So anyway, yeah, just the scope, like from Sienna to Pearland, assuming you don't live in the back Sienna, near the front, this is going to be just over 20 minutes, maybe 22 minutes without traffic. Sugarland, just under 20. Yeah, let me zoom in a bit. I'll show you Katy. So Katy doesn't look too far on a map, but the closest, or the fastest you can get there is like 40 minutes. And that's this is a toll highway here, and so is this one. This is the Fort Bend Tollway, which is the one that brings you to the Med Center, which is really a handy thing to have, especially when you live in Sienna, because it's almost like a direct route to the Med Center. But anyway, and then this is part of Beltway 8 that wraps around the city, this road here. So 2 toll highways, and then you get to I-10, which is usually a pretty busy highway. That's the fastest way. You can also take the Grand Parkway over here. This is 99. This is the outer loop of Houston, and they're gonna build this section. I'm not sure when, but anyway, this section's gonna finish off. It's already built all the way near the north side, and all the way across the city, but they still have to cut down here and do this section. And this road here, the Fort Bend Tollway, is supposed to meet up with it eventually. But anyway, 46 minutes if you go that way. You're still paying toll highways. To avoid toll highways, it's going to take you like an hour. This is Highway 6. You're going to take Highway 6 the whole way to I-10. So Katy, even though it doesn't show, let me see if I pull that back up. See, it's not that far on the map, but still a pretty big trip. That's just how big Houston is geographically. This is the inner loop. Downtown and the other areas are. This is the Beltway. This is the Grand Parkway here. I don't know if I can find the. This is the big airport, the international one. The Bush airport's up here somewhere. Hope I'm pointing to the right area, but it's somewhere around there. And then you can see here's Hobby Airport down here. So yeah, the 99 the Grand Parkway. I'd like to see this finish. This would be great. Cut off some driving time for some of the areas I go, but that is supposed to cut down here and then eventually loop up to this. Finish that off. So yeah, just another thing about driving in Houston. It was crazy. When I moved here, I was coming down. I was driving down. The first time I've driven through Houston. Well, I visited. I visited a few times, but this is when I was actually moving. I think I was on this highway here, and made it into downtown area, and I saw a pickup truck towing a transport truck. Not with a trailer, but just a transport truck with a rope. And I was like, wow, that's quite a thing to see on the first day here. But yeah, on the negative side of things, Houston drivers, very distracted, lots of people on their phones. One thing that blows my mind is running red lights. If I'm approaching a light and I think I have time to stop, I usually kind of go through because, and I'm not exaggerating, 2 cars behind me will go too. So to avoid rear-ending, I kind of go. School buses too. I wish people had a little bit more respect for the school buses. People try to like race to get through before the stop sign comes out. And sometimes the stop sign is out and they kind of push past it. So that's a pretty big negative. Kind of wish there was a crackdown on that kind of thing. Yeah, that's it for driving in Houston. So yeah, just moving on to the master plan communities in Houston. I think I showed briefly on that map. The very rough area where a lot of them are located. Like I said, I live in an area, one of them called Sienna, one of the bigger ones. It's 10,500 acres. I think it's going to be about 14,500 homes when it's all done. There's another, I don't remember the number now, but 4,000 homes to go, maybe a little bit less than that. So yeah, anyway, people move here. Well, families. I mean, if you're single, not a lot of single people here, a lot of families for sure. Different pros and cons for the different master plan communities, depending on what area you need to be in, different access to different parts of the city. Ours has the excellent access to the med center. That's the big one. Typically, you're going to find really good schools. That's what makes people come. Reputations for safety and tons of amenities. So I just have a couple pictures of Sienna. This is the baseball and softball complex called Camp Sienna. There's also soccer fields, football field, a turf football field. There's a volleyball court down there, sand volleyball court. And a track too that goes around the football field. So batting cages as well. So a lot of stuff going on down there. Very busy spot. Here's another pic. This is one of the fitness centers. This is before they just did a new upgrade there, but there's another fitness center in another area of Sienna and another one coming too. So lots of options for that. This is included in your HOA fee. So as for the HOA too, if you're not used to dealing with an HOA, they're not that bad. I mean, hear some horror stories online, but ours is pretty easy to go with. The only complaint is the fee goes up. I think it's like $1,450, something like that this year. But yeah, we got crazy amounts of amenities. The landscaping in our neighborhood always looks great. Everything looks great. Everything's, it's just such a great place to live. Most people feel it's well worth it. There are some people who disagree, but most people think it's worth it. One of the 5 pools in our neighborhood with more coming. There's 5 pools and they all have a different feel, different priorities. This one's more for kids here, obviously. But there is a lane swimming pool at this one. This is one of the biggest older ones, Club Sienna. The one before was up near the north part of the subdivision. This is an aerial view of the same Club Sienna. So yeah, lane swimming where competitive swimming happens, and then family fun area. Here's our tennis courts too. 8 tennis courts. This is an old picture. There's like a really nice new clubhouse in this area as well. And then down in, I don't know if I'm going to do it show. Oh, it's here. Yeah, there's a volleyball court here, park for kids here, and then some outdoor workout equipment in this area as well. And then down here, there's like, this is like this mound here. There's a big amphitheater. So for community concerts, band will set up down here, and people sit on the bank over here. This is where they do the fireworks as well. This is one of the newest swimming area. This is Sawmill Lake Club. Splash pad. This is a really cool playground. You can climb ropes and yeah, this is quite a structure. I don't have a close-up on it today. This is where the other fitness center that I was talking about is, and this is just a beautiful facility in here that all the residents can go in and use. Plus, you can rent some huge conference rooms if you need them. Well, 3 different sizes, so you can pick what you need. But yeah, there's lots of space down there. Yeah, it's a really great facility. So this is the nice pool. This one's more shallow. There's no deep areas. So this one is open year round without lifeguards. I guess they close it for a couple months, but it's supposed to be eventually year round. There's a sand volleyball court over here. And there, oh, sorry, it's just beyond the screen over here. They are going to build another sand volleyball court. I'm not sure where. And they're also going to do some sort of beach thing, which is kind of interesting because I haven't seen any, but you know, there's usually alligators in these lakes. So I don't know. Interested to see how that actually happens. It's supposed to happen soon this summer. Just another aerial view of the same area. You can see a better look at the play structure down here this time. Oh, this is a zip line too right here. It's kind of cool. And then just a close-up of the splash pad. And this is the back side of that clubhouse. This is where the workout center is. And there's like a big grill back here that residents can use and a fire pit down in this area. So yeah, that's the amenities. People love it in the master camp communities for the amenities, for the schools, all that. The only downside is the property taxes can get pretty pricey. They vary a lot. I won't try to explain that in this video, but you can in some areas be even over 3%. But even if Sienna's a little bit less generally, but let's just say you're at 3% and you buy a $400,000 home, you get some exemptions off that, but you're going to be paying $10,000, $11,000 on a property taxes on a $400,000 home. You know, Texas doesn't have state income taxes, but that's kind of the trade-off that I've found. Yeah, one last thing, I'll just show you the electricity choices when you get here. It's kind of different from other states. Let me just pull that up. So yeah, when you move here, you can pick your own energy provider. Pick your plan, pick your term length. Different companies will offer different rates. You can buy only green power, you know, nights and weekend type plans. So this can get a little confusing if you don't really want to dive in too deep, but you can pick your own if you want. It's not that hard. It'd be easier if you knew how much energy you were going to be using. Then you can plug it into the calculators on here and pick a plan based on that. If you don't want to, a pretty common option down here is this company called Energy Ogre. They'll just figure it out for you, and they'll pick the best plan. You pay them $10 a month for that service, but a lot of people use that service. That's pretty much wraps it up. I just want to mention politics, since Texas has historically been a red state. These days, it's pretty much 50-50, so you'll find your people if you want to be around others that think like you. No issues there. Wouldn't let that stop you from moving here, no matter what side you're on. Yeah, other than that, thanks a lot for watching. Turned into a longer video, but yeah, I hope that helps. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.